but the Coral Charge, Coral Challenge and Coral Distaff all very much worth winning the first 3 races on the card. But the 340, that's the feature, the Coral Eclipse, a Group 1 over 1.25 miles. The 150 opens us off. It is the Coral Charge, Group 3 over the extended 5 furlongs. A very hot race here. Marshman was sent off 3-1 under Ryan Moore.
And they're off in the Coral Charge. Not a good start for Marshman. He was last to leave the stalls. Diligent Harry is right up there in the centre of the course, being followed by Makarova. Showing speed towards the far side is Equality, and he's racing alongside Lady Hamana. The one who's running a solo towards the near side rail is Existent, the rank outsider, as they race already on towards the halfway point, dropping right out the back of the field is Get Ahead, and it is Diligent Harry who has got the lead, and he's out wide. Against the rail is Equality racing in second, then Lady Hamana is in third, then followed in fourth by Makarova. Still right up there is Existent towards the near side rail. Tiber Flow is next to the field, followed by Rasel. He's now racing alongside Marshman. Get Ahead with a lot to do, so too Anaf, as they race now down inside the final furlong. The leader over on the far side is Equality. Equality has got the lead to Makarova, who's charging now in second. Tiber Flow is now in third, but it is Equality and William Buick out in front. Equality takes the Coral Charge. In second came Makarova, and then Tiber Flow, and staying on was Anaf, and so too Rasel.
Equality wins well on that far side rail. 7-1 for William Buick and Charlie Hill. Second was Makarova, 10-1. Third, Tiber Flow at 6-1. This is the first victory at group level for Equality, who found things pretty difficult in the early part of the season, but once a first-time hub was employed, he bolted up last time out in handicap company at Windsor off a mark of 102, up to 108 now, and put into group company, Group 3 to be exact. He's won pretty nicely here, keeping on very well on the far side despite drifting towards the centre of the track. Nothing really came from the back, but Equality has done it well.
Equality has won the opening Group 3 Coral Charge. Charles Hills is his trainer. Congratulations. It was a career best performance at Windsor last time. I mean, a dominant on. It was a perfect setup for him. Do you think he can build on this, though?
I hope so. Yeah, he's he's won. He's won by taking a lead before, so I think he can be ridden anyway, really. I'll certainly look at Goodwood next time. But
that's the King George?
The King George, yeah. But, let a little bit of rain and get 2 mil just before the off. Right. I think that had probably helped him as well.
OK, so you'd be slightly worried about very fast ground, then?
Very fast, yeah, I would. Unlike his dad, actually, Ekarano loved it like the road, so it's strange. But I think he just, Williams always said he just loves it.
Sprinters have been Carden that we saw at Royal Ascot. I mean, that was a fantastic performance. Are they all sort of bringing each other up?
Well, it looks that way, doesn't it? But they never work together, so...
No, I wouldn't expect them to.
No. So, yeah, we've been really fortunate with them. I don't know what it is. It's probably just I've been sending the horses to do that. So, no, it's great. King George been a lucky race for me in the past. So, I think that's where we should go with this fella.
Yeah, emulating Batash, or little baby steps towards it anyway.
Carden won it last year.
Yes,
he did.
Yes,
yeah.
I remember, yeah. And how about Lady Alara later on?
She's got some good course form. She got her black type here last year, so we thought, yeah, may as well. She gets the mile well, and she likes to track, so she's got a bit to find, though, with a few of the others.
OK, well, very best of luck for that. Many congratulations here.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Thanks.
William Buick was on board Equality. Of course, he's riding Emily Upjohn later on in the big one, but we heard his thoughts about that yesterday. Here, this horse broke really well, and it seemed that you were able to go along without being taken on too much. Was that fair?
Absolutely, and I didn't expect that. That wasn't really the plan. The plan was to follow a few of them, and he finishes races strongly. So, but he broke so well, and like you say, there wasn't really. He landed there and there wasn't really any competition, so that bit of rain would have helped him as well. He goes well through that ground, and I think he's stepped up on what he's achieved. He's kind of threatened to be a good sprinter, and he's putting it together now.
The winning horse is a Goffs horse.
The 225 is the Coral Challenge, a handicap over a mile. Perotto and Skeptic sent off the 5-1 joints in a fiendish affair.
And they're off. In the Coral Challenge, they race over 1 mile, and through the early stages, Major Partnership the Grey is right up there, showing early speed. Out very wide is Spirit Catcher, who hasn't yet got in as they race through the first furlong. So it is Uzo who has also gone forward and is in the front rank. So it's on the inside that Major Partnership is joined by Uzo, and then on the wide outside, Spirit Catcher, who now claims the overall lead. Perotto is just in behind the leading trio, now racing in a share of fourth with Silent Film on his inside. Revich and Positive are the next duo, followed then on the inside by Baltimore Boy. He races alongside the grey Identify, then Skeptic as they go into the turn. Next in the field, Escobar, just ahead of those now as they begin to make the turn is May Song. Dropping out the back of the field is All Barn. Also Dutch Decoy is a long way out the back as they make the turn, and they're racing towards the final 3 furlongs of the Coral Challenge. On the outside, Spirit Catcher up against the inside rail. Major Partnership still the first 2. Uzo is poised to pounce, racing in third, so too Silent Film on his inside. Perotto is next to the field, followed by Baltimore Boy, and then Positive, who's now been ridden along. Escobar is next. Revich looking for racing room. Identify then round the wide outside with May Song, and then towards the inside is Skeptic, and they're racing now with just a furlong and a half to go. Major Partnership tackled now by Perotto, and Perotto has taken the lead. Uzo tries to go with him, stride for stride. Major Partnership is still there towards the inside. It is Perotto and Tom Marcondo have got the lead. Another 100 yards to go. Flying on the outside, Dutch Decoy, but it is Perotto who wins the Coral Challenge. Uzo may have held second. It's tight with Dutch Decoy, and then on the inside, Revich, followed next in the field by Indemnify.
Perotto wins, 5-1 joint favourite for Tom Marquand and Roger Varian. Second was Uzo, 13-2. Third, Dutch Decoy at 11-1. He's looked well handicapped for a while, has Perotto. Hasn't had too long with his current yard for Roger Varian, and has done this really nicely indeed. Always well placed by Tom Marquand, and the response was pretty instant when asked for his efforts. His last couple of starts have looked very promising in the Victoria Cup, and then last time out at Royal Ascot in the Royal Hunt Cup, where he probably went for home that little bit too early. Not this time though. Tom Marquand has got it spot on.
It looked like the first couple of furlongs might be the crucial ones.
Yeah, I think so. Look, I spoke to Roger this morning, obviously, about the horse, and he just has that tendency.
Can't do both.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, yeah, as I say, I do just wonder whether there's something in that, having a bend to race round, just because it shuts the race down for him. But look, I'll leave all of that to Roger and Hanneke and everyone, and to discuss.
In the Coral Eclipse, a couple of questions about him. One, do you think he's being a bit underestimated?
I think so. Look, we all love a romantic story and with that pair, but I just think every millimetre that came down just brings. As I say, we're going to have to go hunting for some good horses, and it will be tough for him. But I think you could certainly make. You can make cases for him, that's for sure.
Well, you just made a strong one. Very best of luck, and congratulations here.
Thanks, Lydia. Cheers.
Well done to Tom Marquand. The going change at Sandown. The going was good to firm, and now is good. Ahead of this 3 o'clock, it is the Coral Distaff, a listed race over a mile. Stenton Glider sent off the 5-2 market leader for Hugo Palmer.
And they're off in the Coral Distaff. These are 3-year-old fillies racing over 1 mile, and as they break away from the stalls, just a little behind them early is Mystic Pearl. Also dropping right out the back of the field early is Crystallium. Early speed on the wide outside from Stenton Glider, now beginning to drift in. Towards the inside rail, Maggie's Way a little bit keen, racing alongside Carsavina. That leading group of 3 are being followed out wide by Magical Sunset, between fillies Bride Stones, and then back Cedar and Sel Sabila as they go towards the turn. Miss Jungle Cat is next. She's got 3 behind her. One of those is Mystic Pearl. Another, as they go into the turn, is Lady Alara, and Crystallium is last of the 11 fillies. And it is Stenton Glider and Andrea Azzini out in front to Magical Sunset, who races in second. A wide trip for Bridestones in a share of third, with Maggie's Way up against the inside rail. Carsavina in the red is between fillies, with on the outside Miss Jungle Cat next, followed towards the inside by Salsabila, and between those two is Back Cedar. Next to the field is a niggled along Mystic Pearl, urged to get a little closer. Then on the inside is Lady Alara, and still the back marker, and now outpaced as they race inside the final 2.5 Crystallium. Against the rail, it's Stenton Glider. Stenton Glider inside the final quarter of a mile has still got the lead. Here's Bridestones laying down a challenge on the outside between those two, and there with every chance Magical Sunset. Down the wide outside, Mystic Pearl is trying to pick up. They're racing now well inside the final half furlong. Stenton Glider against the rail is really game. She still just has the lead. Mystic Pearl down the wide outside, cutting it out with every stride. Mystic Pearl to win over Stenton Glider. Tight for third, Bridestones, and flying late, Crystallium.
Mystic Pearl wins nicely and causes a surprise. 22-1 for Tom Marquand, a double, and William Haggis second with Stenton Glider, 5-2 favourite, and third Bridestones at 7-2. Well, I'm not sure entirely where this jolt of improvement has come from, because Mystic Pearl was beaten last time out in a Class 4 handicap for fillies at this very track. Sent off 22-1 this afternoon. Clearly the market didn't expect her to do too much, but she's finished with a withering wet sail down that far side and has collared all those more fancied before her, including Stenton Glider and Bridestones. A lovely effort here from Mystic Pearl, and clearly something has clicked.
William Haggis has just won the Coral Distaff with Mystic Pearl, and I checked it before the race and I had to check it again afterwards.
I've no idea now. That's the sort of job done, really, Lydia. So I guess we'll try again in a mile Group 3, I suppose. There's nothing to lose.
And a mile rather than anything like 7? I'm wondering about the Oak Tree, I suppose.
No, she wouldn't be quick enough for that. And the hurly-burly of it, he gave her a beautiful ride because he didn't go too early, and he sort of nursed her into the race. And
in the Coral Eclipse.
The big race of the afternoon, the 3:40 Coral Eclipse, Group 1 over a mile and 2 furlongs, just the 4 going to post, and Paddington sent off 11-8 on to win once again.
And they're off in the Coral Eclipse. And it was Paddington who won the break but does not press on, and it will be West Wind Blows who will now claim the lead and goes on in the hands of Jamie Spencer. West Wind Blows now by a length to Paddington, who's rated back in second. 2 lengths away, Emily Upjohn is in third, and Dubai Honor is at the back of the pack. He's racing at the moment about 4 lengths off the leader, who is West Wind Blows, as they race midway down the Sandown back straight. West Wind Blows and Jamie Spencer have the lead over Paddington and Ryan Moore in second position. The filly, Emily Upjohn and William Buick in third. Tom Marquand and Dubai Honor last of the classy quartet as they race now on inside the final 3/4 of a mile. And West Wind Blows has still got a lead of 1.5 lengths over 3-year-old Paddington, who races in second position. Emily Upjohn, his shadow, in third, and at the back of the train is Dubai Honor as they go towards a halfway point in the 127th running of the Coral Eclipse, and West Wind Blows has a 2-length lead over Paddington, who races in second. He has a break of 1.5 lengths over Emily Upjohn, who races in third, and then a further 2 lengths to Dubai Honor, still last of the 4, and now the field turns for home. 3.5 furlongs to go in the Coral Eclipse, and it's still West Wind Blows who has got the lead. The lead is 1.5 lengths. West Wind Blows now being pushed along. Paddington has travelled well in second and now begins to close. Emily Upjohn now with 2 lengths to find on him in third. Dubai Honor still last, and they're racing now on towards the final 1/4 mile. West Wind Blows tries to hang tough, but Paddington sweeps on by, and Emily Upjohn now will come and join issue. A lead of 1 length for Paddington as they race now on towards the final furlong of the Coral Eclipse. It's Paddington, the 3-year-old, to the filly, Emily Upjohn. A private party now between those two. Paddington has got a lead of a neck. Emily Upjohn tries, but Paddington is too good. The 3-year-old wins. Paddington has won the Coral Eclipse. A record 7th win in the race for Aidan O'Brien. It was Paddington who beat Emily Upjohn in the 127th running of the Coral Eclipse.
Paddington too strong. A thrilling renewal of the Coral Eclipse goes his way. The 11-8 on, favourite for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien, just beating off second Emily Upjohn at 85-40. Who said 4-runner affairs couldn't be exciting? Well, this was a real thriller. The 3-year-old colt Paddington sees off the elder mare in Emily Upjohn. The pair had it between them from some way out. It was a 2-furlong battle royale, but in the end, it was Paddington on his first start over a mile and a quarter who found that little bit too much in the closing stages. Despite his head hanging ever so slightly, he doesn't have the most orthodox head carriage. He's seen off Emily Upjohn, who had every chance in second and has run a blinder, but has just bumped into one who's very, very good.
Aidan O'Brien is now the most successful trainer in the Coral Eclipse, having won it 7 times, and it was a fine performance from Paddington to do so. The race, in your own words, Aidan?
Yeah, no, it went perfect. Exactly like Ryan said. He said he'd probably break early. He said Jamie's horse can be slow, and he said if he is, he'll probably take it off him after going a little bit. He said if he doesn't, he'd be happy to make his own running. So I think exactly everything like Ryan said, and I think what Ryan said, he was surprised how easy he went through the race and how easy he was doing it. When he gets there, he waits a little bit, but Ryan was very excited about him. He's a good bit heavier today than he was in Ascot, which was a little bit of a surprise to us, but didn't look it. Adrian rides him every day. I was delighted with him. Seamus rides him in all his work over the moon. Andrew was in charge of him. Michael led him up. So everyone was delighted with him since Ascot, and that's why we came here. I was a little bit surprised how well he done since Ascot and how well he came out of the race, but obviously he's getting quicker. When he's getting heavier like that, he's obviously getting quicker. So no, sure, Ryan gave him an absolute peach. There was 3 others in the race, which can be very tactical, but he was very confident going out. It didn't matter. He knew what he was going to do, whether he was going to be in front or behind or wherever, Lydia. So no, absolutely over the moon with him, really.
And that's a very good filly in second, and she laid down a very sturdy, persistent challenge.
Oh, absolutely. She's a very good filly, absolutely. And we saw her in Epsom, what she did, and when you have an older filly like that, they don't lie down, and we knew that she was going to be following us, probably. And Ryan probably got there, he said, earlier than he wanted it, but he didn't want to break his rhythm or disappoint him, which was 100% the perfect thing to do. So I don't think Ryan hit him even, did he? You know, I'm not sure, but he said he was just there and he was waiting, you know, so he was over the moon with him, really.
And that weight that you said that he's put on, is that tie in with the unusual progress you felt that he's made since Royal Ascot?
Yeah, it's unusual in a couple of weeks, you know, but I think that's what he's done with every run. He's progressed with every single run. Like it was the last morning he walked, Seamus rode him, and like he couldn't talk when he got off him, you know. So and that's how aggressive and how quick he is, you know. So yeah, no, it's very strange, very unusual, but obviously he's a serious horse.
But very good at the same time. Yeah. Where do we see him next? Are you going back to a mile at the Sussex?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously the lads will decide that. We'll have a chat after a week or that with them, and then the lads will chat amongst themselves, and then they'll talk to Ryan. But I would say there's a good chance he could be back there. The plan was after Ascot was to go to the Sussex, but because he came out of the race so well, and John was so confident that the trip was not going to be a problem to him, so that's how he was here, and because he's striving so much, you know. So there's a very strong chance he could, but obviously they'll make their mind up in a week, I'd say.
And how about your season? It's just a tremendous season as ever, but is there any chance that you might be in with a shout for the trainer's title on this side of the Irish Sea?
Yeah, we don't ever look at that ever, and I really mean that, and it's always about the horses and to do the right thing by the horses, and then whatever will be. And that's the way we approach every year, always. We don't make any big plans. We make plan per horse, and then see do they stay on that plan. Some of them fall off of the plan, some of them come back on it, some of them stay on it, you know. So day by day, really, Lydia, but it's all about the horses always.
Well, the way you're going, it just might be. Many congratulations, Aidan. Well done.
Thanks, Lydia. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Tactically, from your perspective, Ryan, can you explain how you won that, please?
I don't think tactics played any sort of a part. I think he was just the best horse on the day.
You said to me yesterday there's tactics in every race.
Yeah, but I don't think the tactics were the reason. He hit the gates well, and then west wind blows took it off us. We were into a good rhythm. I thought he travelled down to the 2 very easy, and he middle of the track at Sandown. He just waited a little bit, and very good mare. She came to him, and he found plenty, and he was always doing enough. I just think he's a real high quality colt. I think he's got a lot of pace, a lot of gears, and a lot of class, and you know, he's done nothing wrong. All he's done is go, you know, bar his maiden, his first run where he didn't turn up, he's just improved and thrived, and yeah, I think he's a very legitimate, high-class colt now.
Were you surprised that you were taken down the centre of the track, or was that a function of your very quick break and West Wind Blow's slightly tardier one?
Well, no, I mean, after watching the first 2 races on the round track, it was quite evident the middle looked better.
Yeah, it was true in the straight.
And I kind of had it in my head, I was happy to go there, and Jamie obviously felt the same thing.
Okay, and how much of a challenge was Emily Upjohn to you? I mean, you could obviously feel her on the outside.
Oh yeah, well, she was there from the furlong and a half and laid down a challenge, and she didn't quit, and neither did my fella. And you know, he's proved he's a very tough, durable horse. He's gone first day of the season in March. He's won a Tech Track in April, and Irish Guineas in May, Royal Ascot June, July. Like, you know, he's turned up, and he's given his best every time. So
I was mentioning to you yesterday that Aidan had said that he'd made unusual progress since Royal Ascot to here. Could you feel that today? Did that translate to the way he ran?
Yeah, be honest, every time I've rode him, he's come forward, but he's consistently all year he's shown us to be a good horse. And people saying, why did he start off in a handicap? It was just he had that mark, and I don't think Aidan had done much with him. It was just nice to get him started without working him, and that was. It's not because no one didn't think he was a proper horse.
Oh, Aidan said it before with Group 1 winners.
Yeah, so anyway.
Finally, we were just talking with Aidan about where he might go next, whether it would be the Sussex Stakes or the International. Would you have any concerns now we've seen him put up that stellar performance over 10 furlongs about dropping back to a sharper mile for the Sussex Stakes?
No, not at all.
Short and sweet. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you never like to hear this when you're finished second, but what a super eclipse that was.
Well, it was. You know, imagine if one of them didn't fire and you had a sort of procession, a race like that. No, it was it was like a match race. She's run a blinder. Obviously, it's below her best trip, 1.25 miles, and he, on the dam side, got it well, as Mr. Magnus said he would. So, look, it was a superb performance from both of them. She's a big unit. She stands 17.2, so she always was rather slow. She's awkward getting out the stalls, and she was last early on. Then he got her up at the third. So I think you've got to remember when you come in that straight, she's got to go nearly a length and a half to get level with the second, and she never quite got there. She battled all the way and did everything well. As I said in the press this morning, Lester Piggott always told me the 3-year-old has the advantage in the Eclipse and the King George at the weights, and you know, 7 pounds up that hill today. But she couldn't have run a better race. In wonderful performance. He's a gorgeous horse, very good looking, very laid back, the winner, Paddington. Really, really lovely horse, and a proper stallion prospect. So look, we're delighted with her. If she's in good form and happy and takes the race well, we'll look at the King George, and the year-end target is the Ark.
Okay, so despite the worries against the 3-year-olds again, King George nonetheless, which is great to hear.
Yeah, I think so. I think he looks the best of them to me.
The 4:15 is the Coral Play Racing Super Series for free handicap over 1 mile and 2 furlongs. Majestic just about favourites here, sent off at 4-1.
And they're off. The race over 1.25 miles, very slow to roll with Spirit of the Bay, has to be stoked along early to try and pick up the bit. And it's Aramake who takes them through the first of 10 furlongs in the Coral Play Racing Super Series for free handicap. And it is Aramake who has got the lead. He presses on now by about a length to Postmark, who races in second. Lord Protector's the inside of Tregoni, racing in third and fourth. Then towards the inside rail is Yantani, who's on the heels and racing in fifth position, racing just in advance of Majestic as they take the dogleg turn midway down the back straight. Akal is racing in midfield. He's on the heels of Tregoni and racing in front of Honiton. Then out a little bit wide is Paradise. At the moment still, Spirit of the Bay is the back marker. Also Haunted Dream is towards the rear of the field, and so too is Mustazid as they now go towards the end of the back straight inside the final 5.5 furlongs. It's Aramake who's still got the lead. To his outside, Postmark is racing in second. Lord Protector against the rail in third. Tregoni is in fourth. Yantani is in fifth. Paradise now is making a 3-wide bid right round the outside of runners and checking off rivals one by one. A. Carl, another one who tries to make ground in his slipstream a little bit wide. Honiton has already been ridden along. Haunted Dream is now trying to make ground on his outside. Then towards the inner is Mokhtasab as they make the turn in. Majestic in the orange and black colours has been shuffled right back. He's only got 2 behind. Spirit of the Bay is one of them, and the back marker is Mustazid. But it's Aramake who still leads the way, and they've got 2.5 furlongs to go. Aramake is out in front to Paradise, the red cap, towards the near side. Over on the far side is Lord Protector. These 3 on from Tregony, who is now in 4th. Haunted Dream is in 5th. Racing now up towards the final furlong. Lord Protector challenges to the inside of Aramake. These 2 now by 2.5 lengths to Paradise, and then Haunted Dream. Another half furlong to go. Lord Protector has the lead in the hands of Ross Orion. Lord Protector leads by just over 1.5 lengths, and racing up towards the line, it is Lord Protector in front. Haunted Dream got up for 2nd, Aramake in 3rd, and Late Gain in 4th from Majestic.
Lord Protector wins for Ross Orion and Rafe Beckett. A fine day with victory in the Saint-Cloud Group 1 as well with Westover. 5-1 the winner. Second was Haunted Dream, 16-1. And third Aramaic at 7-1. A lovely effort here from Lord Protector, who shows a lovely turn of boot on the far side under Ross Orion to go clear in what was a pretty competitive handicap on the cards. Not too much, though. Got into it from the back. Haunted Dream being one of those. Finished with a flourish down the near side for Jamie Spencer, just getting up for 2nd. But Lord Protector had first run and had too many gears, really, in the closing stages. Paradise has run another good race in behind, but probably made a move around the bend that wasn't too helpful to his chance, whereas Lord Protector, always in the right place.
Lord Protector was just when our previous handicap, the 10 furlong handicap, Rafe Beckett was. The trainer, Ross Orion, was on board. Never far away from the pace. Was that critical?
Yeah, we slowed it up a little bit around the bend, but it wasn't. I kind of, the last day I let him roll away forward where he was happy just in space, and today, even though I was on the rail, I had plenty of room, plenty of space, and that's probably, he's just getting a bit older, a bit cuter. It's probably everything for him, really.
And the final couple of furlongs, explain them from your point of view.
Yeah, he always takes a long time to get rolling. So even though you have to sit into him 3.5 out, it doesn't matter. He'll come. He can feel him come underneath you. You just have to keep him rolling forward. It's great, really, because no one knows whether I'm going to win or not, but only me. But no, he did it well. I thought, I got to Tom at the furlong pole, and I really needed him to stretch, and he doesn't do a whole lot in front, but today he seemed to stick his head down and go forward, and I thought coming into the race, handicapper might have been a bit harsh on him, but obviously not. He's on a going day. We've changed a few things with him, headgear wise, and he seems to be starting to do the things the right way around.
It was a nice success. Reflecting on your earlier rides, Anaf in the Coral Charge, what happened there?
Got no run. He has to be held up, probably here isn't the ideal place to do it, but we did it in the King's Stand, and he's been doing it on the all-weather. It's been basically out the back, and he enjoys it, so we had to, even though he jumped well, and I'd have loved to have gone forward, he can't see daylight till at least a half furlong pole, so his day will come. There's definitely well capable of, there's good ability there to win a group race at least, but everything has to fall right, and he has to be ridden very cold, and that's just the way he is. So there's going to be a lot more hard luck stories with him than good stories because of that, but he will get his day.
Yeah, and it was a great run in the King's Stand. Casavina in the distaff?
Yeah, I think she's finally getting herself back on track to what we thought she was. I think a mile and a quarter, so they went very slow, and when they turned it on, I just seemed to, they could never, I always just seemed on the back of Pat the whole way. I could never get out and go by him, or I didn't have the toe. I think at a mile and a quarter she'll have that turn of foot we've seen her win her maiden in Newmarket with. She's very relaxed, so I would imagine the plan is to go up to a mile and 2 and see after that, but she's back on track now, so hopefully she's up to winning one of these black type races.
There are 2 races left, and you're riding 2 horses for the first time. Scholarship, what do you know about him?
He's plenty of ability if he gets out of bed the right side. I really liked his run in Newbury, and I think he'll enjoy the ground, but he's a play late card, so I'd put a line through his last 2 runs. he's a big field horse, so he'd probably enjoy it here today.
Okay, and then our final race, which is the 10 furlong handicap. You're on board Blue Yonder for Richard Fahey.
Yeah, he said put a line through her last run. She's been progressing well. It's a big step up in this grade today, but Fahey's horse is in good form, and he said it wouldn't surprise me if this horse, you know, in the lesser class race, they've been nearly going too slow for him. So, you know, he said I wouldn't put you off that he's off progressive mark and he'll stay going. But he said whether we're up to today, he said we don't know. But he said he's going the right way. Just last run, he said just nothing went right, but we'll see.
Okay, very best of luck with both of them. Congratulations here.
Thank you.
Cheers.
The 450 is the Coral Racing Club handicap over 7 furlongs. New Business and Novus, who is well backed, sent off the 11-4 market leaders.
And they're off. Racing over 7 furlongs, the Coral Racing Club handicap, and away to a level break. They're all looking round to see where the pace is going to come from. It's coming out wide in the shape of New Business, who's right up there, and so too is Prospering. And those are the first two from their wide draws. And then Tiger Bay towards the inside of Scholarship. And another one wide, Merlin the Wizard is the one who wants to go forward as well. Into the turn, and New Business has got the lead. He's quite keen, leads by a length and a half. To Merlin the Wizard now racing in second. Tiger Bay is in third around the turn. Prospering is in fourth. Classic on the inside of Scholarship. Then Novus, who's back in the field as they begin to make the turn back towards home with Empty Metaphor, last of the 8. Racing down towards the final 3 furlongs, New Business, and William Buick has the lead over Merlin the Wizard and Holly Doyle racing in second. Tiger Bay is in third and Prospering in fourth. Classic racing in fifth. Scholarship is in sixth. Novus is given the hurry up in seventh and not finding at the moment neither two. Empty Metaphor at the back of the field. Racing now inside the final quarter mile. New Business has the lead, tackled on both wings. The far side by Tiger Bay. On the near side, Merlin the Wizard. Classic is now beginning to pick up. He's about to challenge for third as now Tiger Bay comes alongside New Business. Novus from a long way back begins to roll late, but she's running out of time. It's Tiger Bay on the outside now. Classic gets the lead, and Classic gets the win. Classic wins, tight second, Novus, Tiger Bay, and back in fourth, New Business.
Classic gets back on trap, 6-1 for Pat Dobbs and Richard Hannon. Second was Novus, 11-4 joint favourite, and third Tiger Bay at 11-1. Classic too good and continues what has been a campaign of steady improvements with victory at Sandown this afternoon. Despite being keen, he usually is, he perhaps has settled that little bit better than he usually does, which has helped him finish off with a real flourish, coming between the more fancied New Business and Merlin the Wizard, and striking while the Arnis Hot Novus didn't really get the cleanest of passages through and could potentially be classed as an unlucky loser, but really Classic was well on top.
Pat Dobbs was on board. Classic, who's just won our previous race for Richard Hannon. He spread a plate beforehand, but he was worth the wait in the end.
Yeah, he's a horse that's very tricky at home. He's keen to get on with things. He's only starting to settle down now, I think. He's obviously got a very good pedigree, so it was important for him to win again at 3. But he is definitely going the right way.
And was the strong pace helpful? Because he can tug quite hard, can't he?
Yeah, he had a different bit on him today, and he had a cross noseband, which was a bit more managed. But the last day was horrible here. He was galloped with his head in the air for 3 furlongs. He still ran well, but hopefully mentally he's getting better.
And he had the pace to be able to hold his position as well.
Yeah, he needs it. Yeah, we're talking about dropping him back to 6, make sure he got his pace. But then when you drop him back to 6, he's a horse that probably wants a mile if he does things right. So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. You don't want to set him a light over 6 and then try and step him up and just blow his brains really. So
do you think this might be a significant day for him then? Do you think he can build on it?
I don't know. Only he can tell you. He has good days, he has bad days. Today was a good day.
I could see the smile as I was asking the question. Many congratulations on the good day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The 5.25 is the Coral Get Close to the Action handicap over a mile and a quarter. Rebal was sent off 11-4 favourite in the last.
And they're off. A mile and a quarter for these 3-year-olds. A little slow to begin. It was Abu Royal. Just has to be pushed along. And it is Lisboa who will claim the early lead and goes on by 2 lengths. Rybal is quite keen, racing in second. Miller Spirit is in third, and then Blue Yonder in 4th position. Abu Royal has now passed a few and has now taken 5th place. He's now racing in advance of Orchestra, then Hakuna Babe. The back marker is Ramensky. As they race on now, midway down the back straight, and Lisboa has opened up a lead, which is now close to double digits. It's 10 lengths the lead now for Lisboa, who now goes on inside the final 6 furlongs. So Lisboa inclined to over-race, but he's got a very handy margin over Miller Spirit racing in second. Rybal is in third, and then Abu Royal, who's alongside Blue Yonder. Then on the inside, Hakuna Babe racing alongside Orchestra, and Ramensky is the back marker. Ramensky is a good 15 lengths off Lisboa, the leader, as they go into the far turn. So it is Lisboa in the hands of Ryan Moore. Clear of the rest now in second, Miller Spirit. Rybal racing in third. Blue Yonder around the outside in fourth. Abu Royal's running snatches. They're then being followed by Orchestra and Hakuna Babe. And still at the back of the field as they made the turn in is Ramensky. They've got just over 3 furlongs to go, and Lisboa still has a handy advantage, but the lead not as big now. It's down to around about 7 lengths. Closing is Miller Spirit in second. Rybal is in third. In fourth is Blue Yonder. Then Orchestra towards the wide outside, and they race on down towards the final quarter of a mile. And Lisboa is still out in front, but now being driven along by Ryan Moore, trying to close. Rybal on the outside of Miller Spirit. Orchestra has taken a distant fourth. Then Hakuna Babe is in fifth. Still a lead of about 6 lengths here for Lisboa inside the final furlong. Lisboa is clear of Rybal in second, trying to stay on Hakuna Babe. Then on the inside, Miller Spirit, but it is Lisboa not for catching today in the hands of Ryan Moore. Lisboa, pillar to post. Tight second, Rybal and Hakuna Babe, followed in fourth by Miller Spirit.
You can't give Ryan Moore a lead like that. Lisboa wins 17-2 under an inspired front-running performance in the saddle. John Thady Gosden. Second was Rybal, 11-4 favourite, and third Hakuna Babe, 11-1. Well, from the outset, Lisboa went off like a scalded cat under Ryan Moore, and everyone in behind was happy to let him go. But remember, it's Ryan Moore in the plate, and that has made all the difference here as Lisboa has kept on strongly. Nothing could really get near him, and he gets off the mark for the first time. Even at the half-furlong pole, he looked to have plenty in hand, and to be fair, has kept up this very strong gallop remorselessly under Ryan Moore, who has had quite the afternoon.
Lisboa wins our last race for John and Thady Gosden, with Ryan Moore on board, a double for him. Blinkers on have clearly done the trick. Were you worried that they'd worked a bit too well in the early stages?
Well, I think, yes, they had initially, but, you know, he didn't pay much attention last time at Kempton. Got between horses and decided he wouldn't be bothered, so he put the blinkers on, and yes, he decided to show what talent he has. He was kept in training this year. I thought he might have gone to the sales last year, but he will be in the July sales next week.
Okay, bit of a theme this week. It always tends to be around this time of year, doesn't it?
So.
Yeah. He'd shown some ability though, some flashes of ability last season.
Yeah, he did, and you know, we liked him, and then we had to pack in with him. We had an issue with the knee, but that's come absolutely right now, and he's been in good form. It's just his first run back was fine. Then the last race, he definitely wasn't concentrating. So nothing like making them look forward.
And so, is it a pleasant surprise, or were you thinking?
No,
this
it's a pleasant surprise, particularly when Ryan goes that pace early on. He got to breathe around the bend, but that he had the ability to still win comfortably in the end. So I think that was, it wasn't a surprise. It was once I saw he actually got that controlling lead, I told you not where we caught.
It was a beautiful ride, wasn't it? Congratulations, well done.
Yeah, no, and a great day's racing and a phenomenal match race. It was like an old-fashioned match race.
It really was. It was great stuff. Well done.
A great day at Sandown Park, highlighted by Paddington's victory in the Coral Eclipse, just seeing off Emily Upjohn, the pair clear of the other pair in the race, and they produced quite the barnstorming finish, didn't they? The 11-8 on favourite, eventually getting the job done under Ryan Moore for trainer Aidan O'Brien. Perotto landed a big handicap at 225. Good to see him getting his head back in front.